I am noticing that there are a large number of videos in the opera. I divide my time into personal time and work time. Personal time would be like the story opera, which has no words. Work time would be ventriloquist mode, which I may also refer to as pray to God mode depending on what impression I am looking to make upon the listener. Pray to God mode emphasizes that I am begging people to help me. Ventriloquist mode is the same thing but emphasizes that I can and may make up what was said and would be part of the fiction portion of the realistic fiction. Realistic fiction means that there is a real component and a fictional component. This is important because the recreational and personal portion of my life may be the creation of operas or other material that may be fictional, as well as other reasons. What you should take notice of is that each piece may be able to stand on its own, and instead of judging them against the whole of what is now more than 700 videos, that they may be judged just by videos that are more directly related to a set. They may stand on their own or be part of a set. They don't necessarily need to review all of the material because that is time consuming, and also the fantasy music is not applicable to investigations other than describing character. The remainder of this lecture will cover the following terms. Data corruption. My videos have errors in them. Will you collapse in a pool of anxiety, or can you deal with that? BitTorrent. My videos are numerous and it takes me a long time to get them all in order, and they may never be entirely in order, whatever that means. I usually am conducting services, which means that I am selecting content personally for Red and Blue Group, who are my illegal audience, as well as general public, government, and criminals, who are my legal audience, who are not stalking Daniel Hagen. Marathon. There are a lot of videos and that is just the way that it is. Ask your supervisor. Relay race. Ask your supervisor what percentage of the time Daniel Hagen is teaching or preparing to teach, which is also a form of teaching. Then determine whether it is considered a human rights violation to make a decision not to turn around and assist Daniel Hagen with the teaching. Pony Express. If it is, as I suspect, which is that it is a human rights violation to not assist Daniel Hagen by turning around and teaching, then the teaching becomes a Pony Express of sorts. My material is already partially uploaded to my Facebook and YouTube. At this time I do not include teaching material on my X videos, but it must be understood and recognized as a source of stalkers, being that a majority of stalkers love the person they are stalking. My X videos has more than 10 million views. The state of Wisconsin has more than 5 million people, so it would be like everyone in the state of Wisconsin watched 2 of my videos. That's how many people watched them. So, you can go to hell for acting like no person has ever stalked me ever. Iris is the personification of the rainbow and messenger of the gods. Iris is the Messiah's, Daniel Hagen's, patron goddess, because Daniel Hagen is obsessed with communication, which began with him taking piano lessons at 6 and so for 31 years at the time of this lecture. Music teaches communication and politics. Music led Daniel Hagen to study the dictionary to learn wordsmithing for the purpose of lyrical content. Music guided Daniel to the creation of the opera, also for lyrical content and for the purpose of situational uncertainty, also known as fog of war. The war Daniel Hagen is in is with endemic surveillance societies. Iris is why Daniel Hagen often is seen wearing a rainbow in some way. Daniel Hagen's amulet, for example, is a rainbow of stones. At the top of the Facebook page there is a social filter, which is a rainbow jockstrap. Because this is sexual abuse, we need agents who can handle sexual material, and so if the rainbow jockstrap bothers you, you will have serious problems emotionally dealing with the sexual abuse case. BitTorrent. The file being distributed is divided into segments called pieces. Pieces are typically downloaded non-sequentially. Data corruption refers to errors in computer data that occur during writing, reading, storage, transmission, or processing, which introduce unintended changes to the original data. Computer, transmission, and storage systems use a number of measures to provide end-to-end data integrity, or lack of errors. There are 2 types of data corruption associated with computer systems: undetected and detected. Undetected data corruption, also known as silent data corruption, results in the most dangerous errors as there is no indication that the data is incorrect. Detected data corruption may be permanent with the loss of data, or may be temporary when some part of the system is able to detect and correct the error. There is no data corruption in the latter case. Some programs can give a suggestion to repair the file automatically after the error, and some programs cannot repair it. It depends on the level of corruption and the built-in functionality of the application to handle the error. There are various causes of the corruption. Marathon. A long-distance race. Something characterized by great length or concentrated effort. An endurance contest. Relay race. A race between teams of 2 or more contestants with each team member covering a specified portion of the entire course. Pony Express. A rapid postal and express system that operated across the western U.S. in 1860 to 61 by relays of horses and riders. Iris is the personification of the rainbow and messenger of the gods. Iris is the Messiah's, Daniel Hagen's, patron goddess because Daniel Hagen is obsessed with communication, which began with him taking piano lessons at 6 and so for 31 years at the time of this lecture. Music teaches communication and politics. Music led Daniel Hagen to study the dictionary to learn wordsmithing for the purpose of lyrical content. Music guided Daniel to the creation of the opera, also for lyrical content and for the purpose of situational uncertainty, also known as fog of war. The war Daniel Hagen is in is with endemic surveillance societies. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/BitTorrent https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/data_corruption https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/pony_express